I think we can push boundaries. I think boundaries are made to be pushed. And that's where the creative comes in, and that's okay. But then there's bad boundaries too, to go back to your point about darkness. So when we kind of leave the light and go into the darkness side, that's when I get a little nervous about humanity, that would happen. Let me just say one more thing about that. You were, I don't know how old you were when Columbine happened, but when Columbine happened, when those two young men shot up that school, when they went back and looked at their writings and their drawings and their all that stuff, it was all about the darkness, all about despair, all about no light was there. So people do slide into the dark side, right? But we're called to bring them to the light, try to bring them to the light, which gets back to my earlier comment that God created the light, and then Jesus on Easter, it's all about the sun, the light. So I think the light's more important. No, I don't want to say that darkness isn't important, because I think the darkness challenges us to push our boundaries a little bit. But I wouldn't want to go into the darkness. Does that make sense?
It does. I would say that darkness is only dark if you're attached.
So you think you can go into the dark and out of the dark?
No, yeah, but I think it only appears to be darkness. Like, you could change your consciousness to make darkness just another version of light. It's all just versions of like a pole has an end and then you could call it darkness and light, and it's all the same stick.
Yeah, but I use that analogy when I talk about virtues. Every virtue has a bad part and a good part. Did you know that?
Right.
Like, for instance, the virtue of courage, right? You can be courageous and help somebody, right? Or you could be stupid and put yourself in a dangerous situation because you think you're courageous. So there's a sweet spot in virtues, and I think there's a sweet spot in darkness and light too.
But the only way to find the sweet spot is to push the boundary.
Yeah, you have to know. You do. I'm not going to disagree with that.
And you have to pass it.
But what happens? Let me ask you this question: what happens when, I don't know if this happened to you, or you can be hypothetical about it and maybe just make somebody up, but what happens when you find yourself too much into the darkness? What happens to your moral compass or to yourself? Do you get depressed? Do you get nervous? Do you get anxious? I don't want to throw those words on you. Answer that.
Yeah. It's about the attachment to those. Like, how heavy do you feel those on you versus are they beads of water that bounce off you? Like, do you carry them with you, or are you just acknowledging them?
So point one, you acknowledge them.
Right.
Okay.
Then because if you're unaware of them, then you're just being ignorant.
Then what do you do to change that? How do you head back towards the light, back towards what I'm going to say is God?
Yeah, well, what I would do is start a podcast and talk about all the things I feel and hopefully help people understand that you could also
and here we are.
Even if you disagree with me, have a deeper thought about what you're actually thinking